way. I'm not going to face the challenges that other people might face. But as a human, aside from race, I did not come from money. I am not privileged in that regard whatsoever. I barely even had parents. Like, I'm very self-made and self-sufficient. And everything I've accomplished, I've done on my own merit. So I feel like with those things, that's my character. And I know that. So when someone's upset with me, I have no problem talking to them about it. It's been an eye-opening experience, but I am by no means racist. And I will say that over and over again. Like, some of my best friends are Black. I have never even mentioned that to anyone before. Some of my friends get on there and defend people for me because they know that that's not my heart. But all I can do is, speak my truth and try to tell people it was ignorant, but I'm in no way racist whatsoever against anyone.
Well, that's nice that you even take the time to DM people back and try to have an intelligent conversation. I usually don't handle it that way, but I mean, not that I have this experience, but when people come, yeah.
And I don't do that with everyone, but some people I could see there's anger, there's things coming from there. And I want positivity in my life. I don't want to wake up to hateful messages every day. So I did hide some of the words that were very vulgar because I don't want to read that every day. But I have no problem having a conversation. I'm very direct, very blunt, almost to a fault, because I don't want to be harsh, but I just am direct and I go right to the source. So that goes for business, that goes for personal. And I have no problem to explain myself. If I offended someone, I will explain my heart. And if they see it and they're open to it, then we evolve, then we're the change for the world and other people. If we don't do that and we attack each other and I just ignore it, it's not going to change. And I want to show the change and show that that's really not my character. So that's why I'm taking the time to have an intimate conversation with someone, as well as a public apology.
That makes a lot of sense. And I'm not even harping on that particularly, but what about then when Chelsea tweets, or retweets, like Brie brought her racist friend on the show to ruin me. I understand what you're saying. Like, you're not racist and you didn't want to ruin her. But when something like now Chelsea's involved in the conversation.
I feel like her anger is misguided, because if she thinks truthfully that I went in there to ruin her marriage, I understand that. That's not true. I never went in there to ruin her marriage, and I never planned to bring it up. So with that being said, we've never spoke to each other. So there's that big game of telephone where everything's distorted. We've never connected on a human way. So she has no idea of my intentions. And I completely don't blame her for thinking that, if she thought this girl's trying to come in here to get on TV and take me down. Why would anyone like someone like that? That's not my intention. My intention is to film things with my friends like I do. I've never really filmed with friends that much. So filming with Brie was really fun. She's the first friend that I've been able to film with aside from work.
To your point, you haven't really talked to Chelsea. Do you want to? Would you reach out to her? Do you want her to reach out to you?
I've never spoken to Chelsea. I'm open to having a conversation with her for sure. I would. I'm not going to reach out to her now and do that because there's so much going on and there's just so much up in the air, with the show and with the public. And I feel like she's probably going through a lot on her own, but I'm always open to having a conversation with anyone, especially if they have an impression of me. I want to know, did someone tell you that I came to take you down? Do you just assume that? Where did that come from? You know what I mean? I want to know where that came from, because that also, that makes a big impact. Did someone tell her that? Because if someone told her that, that's absolutely not true. So that would make a big impact for me.
Right. Who knows what she was told. And for these reality shows are often alliances, and sometimes people just make things up for their own benefit.
Yeah. I'm not trying to make anything up against anyone. I will say the truth if I'm put in a certain situation, because that's just who I am. And I want the same thing for me, though. It's never done to be malicious. It's done because I feel like women need to know the truth. I didn't want to do it in a malicious way, though. It just ended up coming out that way.
Where are you in Brie? Because like Brie, just as far as the tweets, like she kind of then made a statement and distanced herself from them. Also, like I know you haven't watched the whole season. At one point she said, well, like I don't really know. She's not like my BFF, or like when Chrishell and Emma and Chelsea were saying like, how well do you know this girl? She was like, I don't know. She's not really my BFF. Like I understand it's a show, but like where are you guys? Like was that for the show? Are you okay? Like where are you guys today?
Well, we're not best friends, but we are friends. We've known each other for over 10 years. We don't hang out every day. We're both very busy. Even my best friends, I never get to see because I'm a workaholic. So I work all the time. But me and Brie are fine. I mean, there's things that are circling around. I feel like both of us are just dealing with our own lives the way we did before. But I don't have any ill will towards Brie. Like I love Brie. I feel like there's a lot that comes with this, and she has a lot of pressure. She has a family. It's not easy to have people trying to tear down what you work for. So, there's a lot of pressure on all the girls, but me and Brie are fine.
Well, that's good to hear. Do you feel like used in any way either? It doesn't sound like it's by Brie because you don't think Brie told production, but like, do you feel then like used by, I guess, production or Netflix or anything? You're
No,
shaking your head now.
I take accountability for everything that I did. I'm being truthful about how it went down. I don't feel used. I think everyone is doing their job to stir it up the best way they can, and that's what it is. I'm very well aware of how TV production, movies, and all of this stuff goes. So I knew what I was signing myself up for. I did not want to bring it up, but I know I'm very smart. So I'm completely aware of the possibilities of what could have happened. It's going to be the most dramatic that it can for the show. So
That's how the show works, right? I mean, everyone says they don't want that, and then they wouldn't watch if that just isn't what was happening. And we are going to make a show and we're going to get this out somehow it was going on in real life. So it was coming on the show, as far as I'm concerned, whether you were there or not. I mean, everyone read the words before filming. Everyone knew what was happening,
exactly.
right?
Everyone knew they're trying to make the storyline, I guess, line up in real life. And I truthfully am the one that found this information out. It did come to me. So that's very bizarre. Me and Brie were both shocked about that when I found out. I was shocked. I was shocked myself, but it did come to me. So I truthfully just told Brie when I saw her, and that's how it went.
Do you think a lot of people have watched the show. Do you think that Brie we're all only human. Like Chelsea did come after her in prior seasons, just about her own life and Nick Cannon and baby daddy, and did not approve of it. I mean, she was very vocal. Like, do you think there was any part of Brie that was like, well, karma, and this isn't the worst thing that's happening here?
I mean, maybe in her head she thinks that, because doesn't everyone kind of think that a little bit? Like, not to use it in a bad way, but that was my first reaction, because Chelsea was publicly kind of not agreeing with Brie's family situation and saying how it's very triggering and upsetting to her, but then also being friends with Brie in real life. Brie didn't know that she was saying those things on the show until they came out. So that probably hurt her feelings. She felt like she had one pulled over on her. So when something like that happens to someone else, of course it feels like karma, but that's not for me to say. I feel like that's just my initial reaction with everything. Karma works its way out on everyone.
Are
I just
you
believe that. I said that in the show too. So
I believe that. I believe that karma is a real thing. It's why
absolutely. I know where my intentions are, and I know